I recently did an Instagram reel on nanny scams. That's nannies being scammed by what they feel like are real parents, but are not and are just trying to scam them. And since that video, I've had several calls from nannies who are asking me if I think the person they are talking to online is a scam or a real family. So I'm gonna go into more detail today about how to tell if it's a scam and what to look for. If we haven't met before, I'm Michelle Kelsey, founder of the Nanny Solution by Nannies on Call. Each week, I bring you new videos to educate and inspire you to get better jobs and make more money. Let's look at these nanny scams today. The first thing I want to say is, if you think, I need to call someone and ask them if they think this is a real family or not, whether it's a friend or a nanny agency or someone you trust, it is a scam. Whatever it is in your gut that says this is not a real family, move on to the next family because it likely is a scam. So that's number one. Listen to your gut. Next, let's look at some red flags. Red flag number one is they're asking for a lot of personal information up front. In the beginning, before you meet them, they don't need in Canada, your social insurance number or your social security number in the US. They don't need your address. They don't need any personal banking information. They don't need anything. What they need is your resume and to meet you. Those are the things they need to start seeing if you're a good fit for the family. If they're asking you for this personal information, it's likely a scam. Lots of nannies have been asking me, what are they going to do with it? I don't know. I'm not a scammer. I don't know all the ins and outs of scamming. One of the nannies who called me said she had been negotiating with two families online that she met in one specific Facebook group. She said that neither of them wanted to give her a phone number so that they could talk on the phone. They did not want to meet her in person. They wanted to do all the negotiating online prior to hiring her. This is your next red flag. What family doesn't want to meet the nanny who is caring for their child? If that's a family that's really out there, then you likely don't want to work for them. Always insist on a real conversation or a real meeting prior to agreeing to any nanny position. Sometimes you have to be a bit of an investigator. Do some research on the person's name. What else can you find on them? How long have they been on Facebook? How many friends do they have? One of the nannies that I talked to was super surprised because she said to me, this is a Facebook group. How are they in it if they're not a real person? Facebook groups verify nothing. And even the online agencies don't verify that these are real people. So you have to do some of your own research. Do they have other social media profiles? Are you able to find what other groups they're in? If they have pictures of their children online, whatever it is, do some digging and see what you can find out about them. Because I guarantee you, these are likely fairly empty shell Facebook pages that don't have many friends or have everything set to private, which sometimes real people do too. But in this case, not being able to find out anything about the family when you do online searches is a big red flag. Never send any money to families who are potentially looking to hire you. No real families will ask you for upfront money for visa fees, background checks, or other upfront fees for hiring you. Yes, you might have to do some of these things, but go directly to the companies and pay them. So we use a company called Certain for all our background checks and our criminal record checks. Nannies go directly to that company to get their background checks. They don't pay us and then we pay the background check company. They go directly there and then they have access to that background check. Protect your personal information and your money and only share it once you know this is a legitimate job. I think this is tip number 4. Only use reputable job platform sites or nanny agencies. Agencies like the Nanny Solution make sure that the families are real by screening them ahead of time, talking to them on the phone, collecting their details. We know that that's a real family because we have all the details about their address, their children. This is a layer of security that you can't get from general job posting sites. Number 5, meet in public places. If you're unsure in the beginning, but it seems like a real family and they do want to meet you, instead of going to their home for the first time since you met on a Facebook group, you can meet up at a coffee shop or a restaurant for the first meeting, get to know them, feel more comfortable, and then the next meeting can be in their home. And of course, always let someone know or a friend know where you're going to meet. That way, if something happens, someone knows where you went and who to meet with. Next up, Always be sure to report suspicious activities. All the Facebook groups have admins, so reach out to the admin and let them know who is a potential scammer, and hopefully they'll take action and take them out of the group. If you don't get any response from that admin, that means likely they're not doing anything to safeguard this group, and you may want to leave the group. Remember, every time you report a scammer, it helps protect other nannies from falling into the same scam. To avoid these scams, a great way is to join nanny communities. Find out about what scams are going on, what people are asking for, how they're scamming the nannies. This is the best way to figure out and protect yourself from any potential scams and falling into the trap. The more you know, the better equipped you are to handle it. Have you seen any of these nanny scams online? Comment down below so we can learn from each other and help protect other nannies from being scammed. I hope you have a great week. Be careful out there.